You're most welcome to the June edition of Entrepreneurship Clinic live on PCG TV. In Thy Light, there is light. And in this edition, we are having something very interesting because you can see around us, we are having a lot of artworks with us here. And so we're going to talk about some of them and what even inspired all of these things. My name is Mavis Nakole Ayi, and we expect you to call other people to stay glued to your set because we have something very interesting for you here. Don't go away. Thank you for staying tuned to PCG TV. In Thy Light, there is light. And this is brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV. And we are sponsored by Salem Water and the Salem range of products. We have Salem cereal mix, we have the tissues, we have palm oil and all other things. And so get closer to the head office or any other Presbyterian institution, and then you can get any of these products. With me in the studio today, we have something very interesting, and then we have very interesting guests because this is the first time you see a student with us in the studio. And so we're talking about from trash to treasure. What do we mean when we say from trash to treasure? We've talked a lot when it comes to issues of environmental integrity. And we've also talked a lot when it comes to managing our waste and all of that. But what different things are we doing that we need to share with you? And that is why we are here. And with me, once again, is Zoe, Marizana, Catherine. And then we have Stanley Tay from the Osu Salem Presby Boys JHS. I hope I got that right. Yeah. And so they are going to share a lot of things with us. And these are things that are their handiworks. And so they'll be telling us how they made them, what inspired them, and all of that. And so we got you today. And so pick your book, pick your pen, because maybe from here you'd also start something so that you can move from trash to treasure. Just be looking around you. Whatever you find, how can you put it into something valuable for all of us to admire? And then maybe it becomes something that you can also earn from. And so today is for you. You're most welcome, Zoe. You're most welcome, Stanley.
Thank you.
Just breathe. Thank you. Yeah. So let me start with Zoe, who is a volunteer with the EMS, Evangelical Mission in Solidarity. Mm-hmm. And you have been working in the head office. Tell us a little about you before. I don't want to miss anything.
So as you said, my name is Zoe.
Yeah.
I'm 18 years old.
Okay.
I've been here for almost a year already.
Okay.
With main focus on recycling, upcycling, environmental projects in general.
Okay.
Working mostly with school kids.
All right, that's interesting to hear. How about you, Stanley? Tell us about you a little.
My name is Stanley. I'm a student who is interested.
You are not a graduate.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm a student who is interested in using plastic bottles for different materials.
That's interesting. Yeah. Because you are interested in using plastic for different things, I want to ask, who exposed you to those things before you became interested? How did you start?
My teachers.
Okay. What did they do?
My teachers used to tell us that as for we students, it's not all about showing what is in the book into your head. By using your hand for different things can transform a normal plastic bottle waste into something different to help the environment.
That's really great to hear. That's me. I don't know. Maybe my teachers didn't tell me that early when I was in JHS. Anyways, Zoe, you've been leading this initiative for a while. You have been in the head office for like 1 year and all of that. Tell us about the initiative you're running, Trash to Treasure.
So the initiative is it's new, and we're focusing on upcycling, specifically with plastics, because plastic is a very big issue generally. We just told the students to either come up with their own ideas, or if they need help, we would be happy to help them, and just find some things that you would normally throw away. Find it and bring everything you can, and we will make something out of the trash you bring.
Okay, anything you can. So if I bring a glass, if I bring a plastic bottle, if I bring wood, you can do stuff from it.
Yes.
And so for you, do you do that yourself already, or what was the motivation? Is it something your teachers also told you?
No, it's something me and a few friends started when I was back in school. We saw plastic as a problem in our school, and we thought, we should probably do something about it.
Okay.
So we got some younger kids to help us, and we started by making flower pots out of
Whoa.
big plastic barrels and things like that, where we could plant seeds, and we started growing our own fruit for the summer.
Oh.
So that's how we started, and then it kept
Okay.
on going from there.
Anyways, I'm just thinking for us, maybe sometimes for the school that I attended, you'll be punished to collect the trash and all of that, but to take it to the dumping site. So I'm really interested in the fact that you got the idea. Was it introduced by someone else, or it was just you thinking about how to solve a problem, and then you came up with that wonderful idea?
It wasn't me alone. Like I said,
Yeah.
I had some friends, and we did it together. It was about 5 of us, and we started by we requested each classroom to have an extra trash bin so that they could
Okay.
separate plastic and everything else.
Mm.
And that's how we started collecting the plastic. So
That's
the
interesting.
headmaster was completely on board, and he supported us as well.
Ah, he was on board.
He was.
Anyways, I think that's why we always say that young people have very brilliant ideas that if you don't tap into, you never know. So that was great. So you, Stanley, you have been making these things and you're interested in putting bottles together and all of that.
Yes.
And I can see very beautiful artworks here. Which one of them is yours?
I think this.
Okay. That's the only one that I guess you have another
Yeah.
tree here. So
Yes.
tell us, walk us through. What did you do? How did you come about this idea, the design? Teach us.
Okay.
Today
For
you are
the
the teacher.
one behind me,
Mm.
I used, as you can see, I used bottle tops and then pressed sachet rubbers for the stem part, for the stem to
Okay.
the root.
So those are sachet rubbers.
That was
I
pressed
can't
by
find
the
it.
press heater. Yeah,
Okay.
we use that one. So it's a tree.
Okay, it's a tree.
Yeah.
And what's inspired you to, like, how did you think about this? What brought about that? Did you see any picture? So were you looking on something when you did it?
Oh,
You didn't look on anything. You
yes.
just thought about it and started
Yes.
doing.
Yes.
Interesting. So for something like this, what can we use it for? Will you sell?
Yeah,
Will you
we
keep
can
it in
sell.
your room?
Yes, for furniture.
Okay. So when you were doing, how was the experience like?
Oh,
Difficult.
not difficult.
Okay.
You just look for some bottle tops and then glue them to the board. And then how you imagined it in your head, that's how you are gonna do it. And at the end, I got this.
How did you get the bottle tops? Just randomly picking?
In our school, we have a receptacle where we keep our bottle tops. So that's where I got it from.
Okay.
To separate the plastic waste from all other normal waste.
So how come you didn't? So whose design is this one? Another colleague?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll come back to talk more about that so that you teach other young people how they can also start, how they can conceive the ideas to put these wonderful things together. But let me come back to Zoe. You have been leading the initiative. How has the experience been working with the young people in the schools?
It was very eye-opening for me. And I learned most of all not to underestimate the children.
Okay.
Because at the beginning I wasn't expecting much because of the slow start we had. But with everything that came out and all the artworks that ended up being created, I was very, very impressed and very happy.
If you say slow starts, what do you mean?
So many kids had an idea, and then the next week they would change the idea and want to do something else. So it was a lot of back and forward until we actually found something to do and got started on it.
So when you want to do these things with the kids, what's the preparation like before you engage them? Do you prep their minds? Run us through how you start engaging the kids, and then with them coming out with the designs that they come out with, what do you tell them? How do they conceive?
So we told them this was an upcycling project, and they should make something that you could use again, or something nice that you could hang up somewhere. And we told them, write down your ideas, write down everything you want to do if there's multiple things, and then write down the materials you think you will need to do it. And we try to get them to focus mainly on plastic. other rather than cardboard and other materials. So yeah, that's how we started. Then we collected everything they wrote down and went to talk to them and see what we could do, if we could do it better and things like that.
Okay, if they could do better, so like from one stage to the other, shaping the ideas. And
Yes.
so how were the kids, I mean, embracing these processes?
They were actually very open-minded
Okay.
and very happy because many kids had the idea but didn't know how to start. And they were happy to hear what they could use, how they could start, and how they could continue their projects.
Okay. Interesting to hear once again. And we are moving from trash to treasure. And so I believe this is to solve a problem. But are there any specific objectives that you seek to attain with this initiative that you have started with the young people?
I was hoping to inspire the students to maybe go into this field in the future, because it's a big problem we have, and if we don't try to fix it, it'll be too late.
Is it a problem in your country too?
Yes, I think.
Which country?
I live in Germany.
Okay.
I think plastic waste in general is a problem everywhere. In some places more than others.
Okay.
And I was hoping that the kids would be inspired to maybe how do I say it? Do something with it, can make a living out of it even.
Okay.
Like, for example, the lady who made this table for us, she used a car tire to make it, and that's what she does for a living. She makes tables and chairs and she sells them. So
the intent is to equip young people to be able to earn income from the problems around them,
yes,
solving those problems as well. If you are just joining us, and we are talking from trash to treasure, and we are solving environmental issues as well. And I have with me Zoe and Stanley, who are explaining to me how these beautiful artworks were made from trash. And so you are here also to learn about some of these things. And so keep glued to your set, and then we'll have more conversations coming for you. When we talk about trash to treasure, a lot of the times, yes, of course, we are looking at protecting the environment. And so what things do you think that's helping the young people to come up with ideas as this? How is it impacting our environments around them globally? How is it going to impact the environment? Tell us about that.
Well, the more people we can bring on board to, not throw away plastic, to recycle it, upcycle it, and everything, the less plastic will be around on the ground or in the water bodies. So that's the goal, basically, to inspire as many as we can to do something about it.
All right. So I just wanted to learn this thing because I've been hearing a lot of more recycling, which you just mentioned, but more recycling than upcycling. What are the differences?
So recycling is taking materials and you break them down, you shred it and something like that, and then you use these raw materials that you did to make something either of a similar quality or a worse quality than where it came from. Yes, or worse. Upcycling is you take like a plastic bottle, for example, and you repurpose it to make something of the same quality or better quality without having to break it down.
Okay, that's interesting. And Stanley, how do you think your initiative to pick these things would help your environment? How do you think?
It can reduce waste in our environment. Yeah, and it can let others know that plastic waste are also important.
Okay.
So we shouldn't think plastic waste or any other waste around us are not important. So we'll just be dumping them around. So I think that can also reduce plastic waste in our environment.
Okay, I'll come back to you so that you tell us how you think other young people can learn from you how to make things like this so that they don't have to make waste around them or even treasure the waste that they find around them. And so we are going for a short break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation talking about from trash to treasure right here on PCG TV. Stick and stay. Welcome back on PCG TV with the show Entrepreneurship Clinic, and we are talking from trash to treasure in the June edition. And so, from trash to treasure, and you can see these beautiful artworks around us here in the studio, and these are made by young people who are moving trash to treasure. How can we make value out of the things that we find waste around us so that we can minimize the plastics around us and to promote some kind of integrity in our environment? And so this is brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV, and we are sponsored by Salem Water and the Salem range of products with cereal mix. We have palm oil, we have tissue, and we have hair food and all other things. And so, as we always encourage you, get closer to the head office and get some of these products that you can even trade in or use them for yourself. And then any other Presbyterian institution as well. You can send us comments in on our various social media platforms. On Facebook, we are there. We are on YouTube, and so do well to share your comments and your experiences with us. If you admire any of the artworks as well, you can let us know. Maybe we'll begin so you can purchase from us. Yeah, very important. With me in the studio, I have Zoe and I have Stanley, who is from the Osu Salem Boys Presbyterian School, JHS actually. And then Zoe is a volunteer with the EMS, that's Evangelical Mission in Solidarity, and has been volunteering with the Presbyterian Church of Ghana head office and taking very good initiative helping young people to make treasure out of waste, right? Yes. And so she is sharing with us what she's been doing and what's even motivating her, how that is going to be sustainable so that we can minimize waste and promote environmental integrity. So right coming to you, Zoe, we left off talking about how these are impacting our environment, but let's look at how sustainable this can be so that it's not just a one-time thing. How do you think young people can embrace it, and how can they get materials? What should keep their motivation up there so it is not just short-term? Once Zoe is not around, they are not going to do it anymore. How can they go ahead?
This project is part of the Ecological Integrity Campaign that the DSS is running. And they're doing various things, all with the environment, for the environment. So there's tree planting, there's upcycling, recycling, and things like that. So what we're working on is giving more we have these big metal boxes that we've given to some Presby schools already, where they collect plastic bottles and sachets and other plastic materials like that. Okay. And then it'll be collected by us or by someone who comes to collect the plastic, and it'll be taken to a recycling plant.
Do you have any specific places that you collect for all these? Because these are a lot of materials and you won't find them randomly when you're walking around. So how specific, do you have people that provide them? Tell us how, I mean, with all the other things that you're doing, you mentioned even recycling, aside the upcycling that you are leading, right? So how do you collect?
Well, most of these things the children collected themselves. Okay. Things they had at home, things they had at school. The slippers in this artwork were collected from a beach. They were slippers found washed up on shore. And the tree stem, for example, is shredded plastic, sachet plastic that was pressed together. So
yeah, what did you use to press? Because I'm wondering, it doesn't look like plastic at all. Nothing shows that.
A heat press was used.
What?
A heat press.
Heat press.
Yes. Okay. So it's just melted together.
Okay. And so when you press it, like, what do you do to get these colors? Are they different colors? Is it just one thing that you buy? Or maybe Stanley can explain because he did it, right? Yes. So Stanley, you pressed it, and then what exactly? Run us through exactly what you did with the painting. How would you do it so that it doesn't even spread into the wood that you've used?
Okay. For the painting, after the artwork is done, we sprayed it
Okay.
So we painted the edges. So we used a cloth to cover the artwork so that the paint will not spread on it. Then we paint it nicely. And then, as you said, the pressed, it was pure water sachet that was cut into pieces.
Okay.
So, you know,
So it's not like the full sachet.
yeah, it was cut into pieces. Then put it in the heat press, then you press it, then it comes out like this. So that's what you
How
see.
does the heat presser look like? I have not seen one.
It's just the one for pressing the clothes,
Like
the
an
shirt.
iron.
Yeah, it's like an iron bar. That one is a box. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you get that?
Um,
You provided that?
No, we didn't do the pressing. We went to a foundation called Macintosh Africa. It was founded by Macintosh. He specializes in upcycling, and he's the one who provided the melted plastic sheets.
So are these sheets like full that you cut, or you shred them, they shred them? What exactly do you guys? I want to understand because someone is watching, they are interested. After here, they are going to start some, like me. I want to go and try it. So I want you to tell us exactly how it goes so that if I decide that today I'm starting it, I know where to go, how to get my shredded and plastics. I won't say rubber. Yes, tell us how that happens so that someone can follow the process as well.
They shred the plastic themselves. Macintosh Africa. They shred the plastic themselves. From plastic they collect themselves, and they press it themselves. And we just got a sheet that we then cut.
Okay, that's very interesting. Stanley, anything you want to add?
mm,
So with the bottle tops, you pick them yourselves
yeah,
from where?
from our receptacle where we
Okay,
keep
yeah,
our
you
plastic.
mentioned that. So aside, then you wash it, or you just use
Yeah,
what you
we
pick from the
wash it.
receptacles.
We wash it
Mm-hmm.
to keep it clean.
Okay, and how did you stick it on the thing?
We use the gun glue.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so if someone like yourself in any school, they want to start some of this, tell the person how they should start it.
Um, you can start by picking some plastic bottles that you
I
see
like your
on
bottles.
plastic bottles that you see on the ground. Then you can transform it to anything you have in mind. I promise you that as time goes on, you have a big idea about
Okay,
what you want to make. So you can use plastic bottles that are just on the ground that people throw them
anyhow,
anyhow.
yeah.
You can use them for anything that you imagine.
So I see something here. You did this, which is a tree, and then you have another tree that is behind me, which is more green. Do you
Yeah.
have love for trees?
Yes.
Why? What is the inspiration? Tell
Um,
us the story behind it, or it's just random.
in my hometown,
Okay.
there are a lot of trees,
Ah,
and then we sit under the tree for shelter. So
for shade.
that's why I like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you like trees.
Yes.
Because I see that you do a lot of tree things.
Yes.
So maybe you become one minister of agriculture somewhere so that you can grow more trees around us.
Okay.
But I see this too very beautiful here. Is it also a tree? Is it a flower or what?
Yeah, this is a coconut tree.
Okay. Hey. So these are coconuts.
Yeah.
So what is inside?
Um, the same plastic you fold it, then
Okay. So is it plastic? Is it also painted or it's
yes,
just green plastic?
it's sprayed. It was sprayed. It's
So how
not.
did this plastic look like? How was it like?
Um,
Is this
for the
bottle?
branches, it's the bottle that we cut. Then we cut it for it to look like the coconut branches. Then we glue them there.
Okay.
And the stem is the the tiro,
Oh, okay.
the middle part.
Yeah.
You understand?
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something beautiful. This is a coconut tree. Everybody can see it. And so if you're home and you have the roll, you have your bottles, you have plastics, you can do something like this, and then you can hang it in your room, or where
Yes.
else can we hang it?
Yes.
Anywhere.
So how much is this?
We will have to talk to the artist first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's really beautiful, and I'm really impressed that we can do things like this. But is it possible that maybe we take it out, sell, do an exhibition? Are there any plans like that? Yeah, Stanley is saying yes. Do you want to take it further?
Yes.
How do you intend to do?
Mm.
Sell to your friends, your family members?
Yes. And for instance, some barbering shops, when you enter there, for there to be beautiful, be attractive for people to come in, you can buy these things and hang it there.
So if I want to buy your tree, how much will you sell that to me?
I can sell it for 200 or 300.
Oh, that's cheap. Oh. Or
Yeah.
and what informs your 200 cedis? Is it because you didn't buy the bottles and this?
Yes.
Oh, he's very generous. I would have sold it at a higher price. And we are rounding up with you guys, and then we'll continue with other colleagues of yours as well. Zoe, what can you tell us? Moving forward, what should young people be thinking about in terms of protecting the environment and then doing upcycling initiatives?
I think the most important thing is that we should realize we only have one planet. And if we don't change something now, when it's too late, there's nothing we can do anymore.
Okay.
And so the important thing is to try to be more mindful and aware of the sachet. When you finish drinking it, you don't just throw it on the ground, put it in your pocket or in your bag and throw it away in a bin or in one of these recycling containers.
Okay.
Like these small things that you can do. Get rid of plastic straws. Use different, like paper or bamboo or glass. There's a lot of options nowadays for.
So if someone is looking for an inspiration, maybe they don't know what to think about, what to do with the plastic, so that is why they just throw them away. What ideas can you give so that they can take inspirations from those things and start doing something with the materials they find around them? What can they look at? I mean, should they look at images? From what he said, he likes trees more, and so he did a lot of tree stuff. What other motivations can people look around so that they can make some of these things?
Nowadays, you can find everything online.
Good.
So if you want to do something but you don't know what to do or don't know where to start, just search for I know art projects, recycling, things like that, and you'll find a lot of videos, a lot of blogs and things like that.
That's very interesting. But are you available to help anybody that wants to venture this space, or they should see you after? Anywhere they can find you so that they can take inspirations from you in case they want to learn anything.
If people need ideas and need help, they can always come here.
Okay.
People here are always willing and eager to help. So
that's interesting. That's very true. So people would come and look for, I'm sure a lot of people will come and say, I'm looking for Zoe, I'm looking for Zoe. But of course, you'll be there to help them. And if you're not there, the young people that you've trained will obviously be there to help them. And thank you very much, Zoe. Stanley, we are rounding up. Any shout outs to anybody? Any final words to the young people that are watching you, like yourself?
So I want to tell every young person that you can start from now to pick plastics and use them transform them to other things, and that can make you become who you want to be. Yeah, you can sell them for profits and others.
That's really great. So he's money-minded, because that is why we are all here. And so thank you very much, Zoe and Marizana, Catherine, for being with us here, who is a volunteer with the EMS, that's Evangelical Mission in Solidarity, and volunteering with the head office, and then leading the upcycling project as part of the environmental initiative. And this month is also an environmental month that we have celebrated. And thank you, Stanley, for being the young person taking initiatives and encouraging other young people as well. We will be continuing the discussion with other young people and other initiative takers as well. And so stay tuned with us right here on PCG TV as we talk about from trash to treasure. you for staying tuned to PCG TV. In Thy Light, there is light. And we're having the Entrepreneurship Clinic right here as we talk about from trash to treasure. And you heard a lot about some of the things that trash has been used for and how it can be treasured and how valuable they have become. Talking upcycling. And this is brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV and sponsored by Salem Water and Salem range of products. And so do get some of these products for yourself. And so we're going to continue the conversation with other people who are also helping in turning trash to treasure, how they are using their platforms as young people, as artists, and all of that. And so I have with me here in the studio again, in fact, we have Jijoli Gonue. This name, I have to eat something heavy so that I can really...
It's simple.
It's simple for you, not me. Thank you for joining us, Jijoli Gonue. And then we have Beatrice Nalamiokolamte, LL. All right, Beatrice, you're welcome.
Thank you.
From the Osu Presby Girls Basic School, right?
Yeah.
And then Jijoli is an artist using poem, using music, and using art to do a lot of things to project environmental initiatives and all of that. So he'll be telling us more. And then I want to start with Beatrice. Beatrice, how are you?
I'm fine.
How are you feeling? Are you excited to be here?
Yes.
Give me a smile that shows you're excited to be here.
Sure.
Is that your best of smiles? Anyways, it's good to have you here, and I understand that these artworks that are here, you have a hand in it as well. Which one of those artworks are yours? I think this fish.
Yeah, this fish.
Okay, you like to chew fish a lot.
No, I really like this artwork because it's not just...
You can't hold it so that you feel your work.
Yeah, I like this artwork because it's not just using plastic. It's educating others, both the old and the youth, not to pollute our water bodies. The more we generate waste, I know I've been educated that 100 million tons of plastic goes into the water bodies. So when they are generated into the water bodies, the fish, when they swallow them, they die and we end up being hungry. So I like this one.
Okay,
really
that's
like
a very good concept. How
Yes.
did you come about that? Okay, from education.
Yes.
And that was what inspired you to do this. So how are you using that to educate people? Have you started educating people with this yet?
Yeah. If they even see the structure of it.
I didn't think about what you said when I saw it though.
Okay. So when people see, they'll even see that it's something like a storytelling.
Okay.
It's educating others. Because we can see the plastics in the stomach of the fish.
Okay.
Yeah. And then some in the sea and they are swallowing it.
Okay, so what is the yellow thing?
This
Yes.
is the sun.
Okay. And this is the water body. No.
This is the water bodies and these are like the birds.
Okay. So what did you use to make all of these things? Start from the sun and tell us so that people would know the materials that you used.
Okay, we used spoons. The handle of the spoon.
Okay.
We didn't use like new spoons because nowadays children, some of us, we can't afford to buy them. So when it happens like that and we are to turn the trash to treasure, we find it difficult. But we using the ones that are used, which is reusing. It's very simple. And we have the supervision of our teachers.
So where do you collect them to, those things? Since you said you don't buy them, you use the metal spoon, right?
Yeah. But we get closer to the nearer restaurants and ask for the spoons. So when they are done, we wash them, clean them nicely, and then use them. Who would think an old thing can find a use in someone's house? So I really like this article.
Great. And you didn't tell us the fish. What did you use for the fish thing?
I use a cardboard with a rope and then the plastics.
Okay. What? I see this color. So how is it plastic?
It's a can.
So can, plastic, rope, and cardboard.
Yes.
And then
spoon.
And spoon. Okay, the plastic spoon.
Yes.
Great. In fact, I feel like clapping. Let me clap for because her concept is very good. That I didn't think about that. But if you pitch this somewhere, I'm sure that's so. If you want to sell this, how much is it going for?
1,000 plastic.
Oh. You like money, Papa?
Yes, money is everything.
I see. She's very money-minded. Anyways, let me come to MG Jolly. We are talking trash to treasure,
Yeah.
and then we have seen how she's wanting to sell her artwork for 1,000 cedis. What can you tell us?
Yeah.
How can we move from trash to treasure? We have seen these things, but what is the concept behind all of those?
First of all, we have students in school, they are learning, reading and all that. By the end of the day, we give them a reason to be practical.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a problem to be solved. We have issues of environmental pollution and all that. So there's a reason to be practical. Oh, let's just do something practical. What is the meaning of that? Because there's a problem to be solved. You know, we have issues with plastic waste in our system and all that. Okay, we can use them beneficially, yeah, to produce something. So this is trash, but then it's treasure.
Okay.
Like she mentioned with the price and all that, because you know, yeah, this is treasure and all that. So these are some of the things, the most important thing. At the end of the day, they can be very practical, be very innovative. Because at the end of the day, how can I use this thing to create this? How can I get this thing from this? At the end of the day, I'm going to also make money from it economically. It's going to help. So these are very important things. And then it helps development as a whole. It helps their thinking. When they're only reading, no. But when they are practical, they know that, okay, from reading, they have to be practical with it, whatever it is. And then we solve nations' problem by all that. Yeah.
That's a great start with you. But I know that you do a lot of arts. So what is your role in all of these
Okay.
things that you have been doing?
I'm one of the facilitators, yeah, on board concerning this program and all that,
Okay.
the project. And so we inspire them with the materials we have. Okay, so what do you think? What can you do with this? And then they'll be like, okay, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, and then we inspire the ideas. We don't force them to do what we think they should do, because they also have, like, we just give them inspiration. Okay, for instance, we have the one with the flip-flops or the bathroom slippers, the worn-out ones. And then in life, we take steps. People from all walks of life, going places and all that. You understand? So we have these flip-flops representing that. So these are worn-out flip-flops, bathroom slippers and all that.
Wait, say that again. People from
Or
like,
different,
what does it
yeah,
represent?
like people from different walks of life, going places. You know, you have to do this. You want to further a course, to do this and all that. So it represents people going places, doing stuff. And then with the flip-flops, you can see it looks like an eye and a mouth.
Hey, me, I can't see
You can see, you can see, like, yeah,
Okay.
the eyes and the mouth. And then so with people going places, we have an identity and all that representing. Yeah. So this is just something, okay, I think it's flip-flops, but it represents something metaphorically. Speaks. So this is a picture, like, yeah, an image that tells a picture, an artwork that tells a picture. So they can tell a story with a whole artwork.
Okay.
This is very important with whatever it is they have at their disposal.
Aside doing these drawings and all of that, what other ways are you using to promote environmental integrity? Because I see that you are more into advocacy but in creative forms. So tell us how you are using your platform.
Okay, for instance, let's say I also do art tuition. Yeah, I do art tuition. So at the end of the day, there's something to be done with art. It must have a reason for whatever it is that we are doing, whatever they are using art for. Okay, so they produce artworks with materials that are meant for artworks. But at the end of the day, we have something we have to do to solve a problem. So I use art forms like, okay, I have materials I use for my artworks in music, in poetry. I have something on a tree. I said something about a tree in a poem. What is a tree without roots? The roots gives the trunk gives the branches, and the branches have the, yeah. So all these things are there, like.
You didn't finish the poem.
You want me to finish it?
Anyways, maybe before we finish, you complete it.
Okay, I'll complete it. Yeah. So so these are things that I have in mind, because at the end of the day, let's say the month of February, talking about love. We only talk about like sexual love with your maybe actual love partner, or maybe love of family and all that. So these artworks represent these things, and with the materials that we have, the waste and all that, to work on these things, because at the end of the day, they must have a reason to be practical. It's like maths. Why are we doing maths? But everything there's maths, there's measurements, the way, okay, how do we position this? All these things you see. So we have art, maths, and science working together as a whole. So they having a reason for whatever it is that we are doing. So in music, in poetry, whatever it is, we say has to solve that problem. Yeah. So these are some of the things, yeah, we have in place for. They have ideas. They are great, yeah, children. They are great students and all that. There's a lot they can do. We only inspire them, yeah, to do, because at the end of the day, somebody feel like, okay, why should I do this? It will solve a problem economically too. Yeah, you can, and then also you can inspire them, so we can, yeah, an awareness to whatever it is we have done. In yeah.
Yeah, maybe not every young person or every student, like Beatrice, will be able to encounter people like you to inspire them. So what other places or what other things can people get inspiration from? How do they get the help they need, the push that they need, so that if I'm walking around, I can be thinking, how can I use this trash to turn into something that's more treasurable or something that's more valuable, adding value to the trash that we don't want, the waste. Let me put it that way, because we see these things as waste and we always complain and everything. But how does a young person sit and say, okay, I can do ABCD from that without maybe, unless the young person is watching us, which makes this very important to have the entrepreneurship clinic. But how do random young people, how can we get them to buy into ideas like this? Because we are all thinking, I want to be teacher, lawyer, I want to be journalist, all of those things. How can we get young people in this direction to understand, like you have explained, because you appreciate the concept?
Yeah. So the thing is that, okay, we have at school, there are thoughts, yeah, this and that, and then how about those who don't have this privilege to meet people like us and stuff like that? Okay, so then we can set up programs like in the communities. First of all, collecting trash, maybe having some dustbins and then collecting this stuff, and then having programs for all these children to come together. Maybe, most of the time there will be a football program. And then at the football program, maybe they'll come around, and then at the end of the day, we have something on the side, and then maybe these art forms from these recycled materials, and then they have them, and then they'll be looking at them, oh, nice. So maybe somebody playing football with the plastic waste, the gallons and everything and all that, and then, oh, that's nice. Oh, you can also make it. So, they love football, they love games and stuff like that. So we can have programs that will bring them together. As for Ghana, football. When they bring them and they see these things, oh, nice and stuff like that. Oh, and then we can have these facilitators there and stuff like that, engaging them. Oh, they can also inspire. So they come to a program, they come to a game, and then they are inspired to do something. So these are art forms. And then so they will be inspired because they play, because they are practical. When they see something practical, they can relate to. So the inspiration will be like, not forcing them, but it will get connected to what they love with what is being done with the art.
I'm just thinking, and that's, you have mentioned, so we can have programs like that, and we can have entrepreneurship clinic like this and showcase some of the things that have been able to be done, or things that have come out from the trash that we see around us. Someone wanting to venture into this upcycling initiative, what steps can the person take? Someone anywhere randomly sitting somewhere watching, she wants to start. What things would a person need so that it doesn't become something they start and they don't even get anywhere? Because we see a lot of people starting initiatives and not getting anywhere, or not sustainable, because they are not getting the right support, or they are not even, in case it includes funds, it becomes a challenge for them. How can people venture this area so they can add value and then make money out of it, as this initiative is targeted at, and equipping young people to earn income from the things around them?
First of all, we'll look at the art industry. First of all, because at the end of the day, where are they going with all this creative stuff? The industry, what sector? Like the sector we have as the art industry, what are some of the projections or branched out systems that will take care of this? Because the financing and all that, with whatever they are getting from wherever source they're having, maybe the musicians, whatever it is, a contribution coming from them in supporting, because recycling and upcycling, we can't only have upcycling. Recycling is also important, because that one, more machines involved and stuff like that. With the upcycling, they have to create maybe manually with their hands, and then, but recycling will be when it's broken down, and then they have to. So people who are creative can also say, okay, this is what we have as musicians, as actors, or whatever. The creative industry involving more into this thing, because they are going to create something with the waste materials and all that. Even with people in the creative industry, creative minds, actors, musicians, and all that. people don't really respect them. Honestly, I'm being very
think
honest.
that's
So
something.
how do we support ourselves?
Okay.
Okay, so there's a project. They work on this. Yeah, with the money they have, they might not have billions, but
Yeah,
a little
the
contribution. We have facilities like maybe departments, even in the school. Okay, we are building this department
Okay.
to support all these things.
I think that's a very big
Financing,
thing.
yeah.
And that will come back to delve deeper into it and how your industry can support initiatives like this, just like you're also using your skills and capacities to support it. And so Dijoli will be coming to you. And we are going for a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation on from trash to treasure. How can we turn waste into valuable materials to use around us in our homes, in our societies, and also reduce the pollution that we find around us? Don't go away. Yeah, most welcome back to the Entrepreneurship Clinic right here on PCG TV. And we are talking about from trash to treasure in the June edition. And so if you have not started doing something with the waste that you find around you, aside from complaining, this is the time to take a step. This is the time to move from complaining to actually turning that complaint into money for yourself, because that is what we treasure. Yes, and so aside from having these materials around you, you could use it for something that nobody would even think. If you see these things around here, you wouldn't think that these, let me just use our local parlance that we say baller. This is not baller. Everybody can attest to that fact. And so you can also turn something waste into one that is more valuable, that no one would even recognize where it is coming from. And we are having a conversation with Jijoli Gonue, who is an artist. He's doing poem, music, and visuals for a lot of advocacy works. And we have Beatrice also from the Osu Presby Girls Basic School, who is also taking the initiative to turn trash to treasure, to turn waste to something more valuable. And so do follow the conversation, and you have more insight and more motivation, maybe, so that you can start turning your own waste into something that is more valuable for you and for your environment. And before we went, you were talking about, I'll come to you, Beatrice, and a special one for you, but you were talking about how we can put, groups can put themselves together to support initiatives like this. I want you to complete that thing you were saying.
Yeah. So let's say when we're having the projects, when we went to the schools, they didn't have departments. We're under a tree or sitting somewhere and then gathered and stuff like that. So we could have departments.
Okay.
You know, resourced with every material, the machines they use for the upcycling, recycling, whatever it is, so that it will inspire them to do more. Okay. Because when they have to struggle to create something, then they'll be like, they'll find it boring. Yeah. But if the machines are there and they have the materials and everything, and all that, it will be,
Thank you. And we'll be coming back to you and maybe complete your poem for us as well. And if you have some music that you made concerning environmental integrity, you'd also sing for us so we can learn from it and be able to keep our environment clean. Let me come to Beatrice. You have explained to us your concepts that you designed from trash, actually. In your environment, what other things do you see that maybe people are not using, you feel people can use to turn trash to treasure?
It's mostly likely plastics.
Okay.
Plastic waste. We mostly generate more plastics than all the waste, because a lot of plastics
around you.
Being used.
How? Okay.
Finish. Around me. Okay. Around me, they don't dispose the plastic waste properly, so it turns out polluting the environment. And also, when it's raining, then the plastic will choke the gutters. So the waters will not be flowing well. And then it end up entering into some people's also room. So that's some challenges in my society too.
So how do you feel that other young people can also be part? Maybe that person is not in your school, but around your community that you stay in. What can you tell those young people? How can they also do something with those plastics that they find around them, even though they are not in your school, so they can experience people like Jijoli to inspire them, to lead them to do initiatives? And how do you think those plastics come up that maybe they can help to reduce?
How
is it like they buy with rubbers more, or they buy using more plastics? How is it generated? Is it coming from elsewhere? and what do you think those young people like yourself can do about it?
So as Uncle said, that they'll be going to communities to make more projects on collecting trash and things. I think when they make it more, they extend it to every places, because Ghana is actually big. They can't extend it, so they have to get more partners. So when it gets to our society, educating children, we children love to do artworks. Doing artworks with our hands, making something beautiful and valuable. We like to end up with something like, we've done it, we've been awarded. So if one person is awarded, then, oh, my friend have been awarded, so I can also be serious to get some of the award. So it will help the children to improve them in doing more of the waste.
Did you receive an award for this?
Something like that.
Is something like that.
Yes.
No, it is either you received an award or you didn't receive an award.
Oh no.
You didn't receive an award.
Yes.
Okay, you weren't given anything.
No, I had a certificate.
Yeah, certificate is an award.
Yes.
You want money.
You wanted a trophy. You wanted a trophy, right?
No,
and
it's
then lift
not
it up.
about money.
Yeah, that's really true. And so share with us your experience going through. Was it difficult coming up with the concepts that you explained to us beautifully here? Or it was just fun? And what were your most like memorable moments when you were going through the session?
Okay, so when we started the work, we didn't find it something serious. We were just playing. A lot of people bring bottles, plastics, and we've been doing it. But as times go on, one person produced something, and it was really nice. And so
what did the person produce?
This vase.
This.
Yes.
Okay.
It was really nice. So the people were like, award will be given. So get yourself more impact to do more things. So then we decided. So when we go out and see something like this Christmas tree there, and the person will be and we advise people to be innovative.
Okay.
Being innovative. I've seen a Christmas tree, but I don't have the money to afford it. And I have my plastic bottles there with some green spray. I'll just decorate it and put it at my house to make that place look green and clean.
Is it easy to get the spray? No, you didn't make that tree.
It's not easy. We didn't get all of the stuffs. Those local stuffs like the bottle tops, the bottles, straws. Those are the ones we got. But being supported by the elders that came to our school too.
Your facilitators.
Yeah. Being supported by them, that helped us to get some supplies like the gun glue and then some 1 or 2 materials. We didn't have them.
You mentioned that someone made what is it made of?
It's made of plastic spoons.
Okay.
The spoons we used to eat.
Were you there when they did it?
Yeah.
So run us through how did it happen?
Okay, so somebody from far away will think this thing is a flower, but it's not a flower. This is actually a rubber band. It was cut.
What we call takeaway.
Yes, it was cut, and then the person molded it to get this flower. It's actually nice.
Yeah, very nice.
She reused the spoons to make this. So doing it, and then our facilitators help us to spray it to look more beautiful for others to see.
That's really amazing. And so I when you see this from afar, you hardly see it as even spoons or waste or something. And so I think that your facilitators have really done well for you. But were you having fun? Was it tedious going through when you were asked to come up with ideas?
Yeah, it was also fun because we using this plastics to make meaningful artworks. It was nice. Some of us was like, I'll use this to make a chair. One of my friends used the plastic bottles to make a chair that we can sit on.
Really?
A really big chair.
You should have come to sit on that chair.
Like this sofa.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have we didn't know that we can use the plastic to do some meaningful artworks, but we seen some things. We became innovative, creative to do something. So our teachers told us that we should work in group. 2 heads are better than 1. So this one brings their idea, the other one brings their idea, all together and make something.
Create something beautiful.
Yes.
Great. That's really great. And we like it. And if every young person would want to do something like this, I can imagine how we can reduce waste around us in our environment. and then we would be able to make more money and reduce even unemployment. Usually, what do you think?
Yeah. So when I was called upon these projects, I was glad. One thing is that I'm going to meet younger generation, and then inspire them from the angle of art. Yeah, inspire them to do something. And then, so meeting them, and even at times you are talking to them, it's like the idea is not, okay, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Yeah. And then it sparks an idea. So that was the joy of it. And then also the challenge of getting them to understand some basics and all that. It's all part of the joy, because at the end of the day, it produces a fruit of getting things done. So yeah, meeting a younger generation and inspiring the younger generation with something, yeah, we know that, okay, and then they know that there's a value, because they were awarded and they realize that, no, this thing is just not just anything.
Ordinary.
You know, we can make something out of it. We can make money out of it, create an awareness. So we have the green environment.
Okay.
So with things that are polluting the green environment, those waste, we can use them to create an art form placed in this green environment. So as we are being healed by the green environment, the art is also healing the mind and souls of people, and all that. And that is getting the younger generation involved. We are young, but the younger ones involved is very, very important.
Very necessary.
So that they don't go waste in their mind of, okay, we are just doing anything anyhow, but practically, solving the problem.
I'm just imagining how difficult or easy it was for you engaging the young people, because in an environment where all we see is people just collect their trash, dump it, is it difficult or easy? Is it that easy changing the mindsets of these young people to say that, okay, now when I produce waste, I'm not going to dump it in a refuse just to go and trash it, but rather make something out of it? How did it feel for you?
One of the challenges, you have a parent saying, yeah, and then you can you know, that kind of thing. We heard somebody saying that, their parents to complain.
Because of course it's trash, so.
Even they having that knowledge, they being informed that they are using the trash, you know, to attain treasure. So the trash will be treasure for them and stuff like that. And they'll be like, they have this, you know, there's this stereotypical mindedness when it comes to trash and waste. Okay, they are going to use it. So okay, oh, it's nice, but okay, if it's actually a well-built, like maybe a Christmas tree with some material and not, somebody's okay. But at the end of the day, so even the parents, getting them to understand is that, okay, this is very important, because we can't always have the same thing that so the waste can go into something proper. Whether is the upcycling, that you can actually see the materials like reused, repurposed, and then when it's recycled, like using machine to transform them like completely into something else, yes, it will build them up mentally, because they can do something. If all we have is machine, the children would not, like that thinking will not develop, and they'll be very unrealistic in their approach to everything.
That's true.
Now with the TV programs, when you take TikTok, social media and everything, there's a whole lot going on.
Yeah, a lot.
AI.
But I think these are areas that have not even gotten that recognition in those spaces. But with people like Beatrice, people like the earlier Stanley that we spoke with, I think that we can make headway to protect the environment just as we want. So kudos for what you have been doing. Beatrice, your final words for us. What can you tell other young people like yourself, so that they can start moving from trash to treasure, even though your parents will tell you that don't bring trash to the house?
Oh, I think when our parents was once young, they were also educated not to pollute the environment. So it's not just...
Were you there? Anyways, just go ahead.
So it's not just teaching the young, but also reminding the old to keep the environment clean and green. And we need to educate everybody nationwide, not only one place. Like, I'm in Osu, so I want only Osu to be great. You need to think of the whole country.
Yeah, but you can think of Osu, then the person in Teshi can think of Teshi like that, because you want to do everything for everybody.
We need to come together.
Definitely, very important when it comes to partnership. And I like the fact that you like collaborative work, because that is how we move very far. Jijoli, your final words as we leave. She didn't recite the poem. We'll recite it as time play for our viewers.
Okay, so it is trash
to treasure.
To treasure. What looks unimportant, making it important, making it beneficial to society.
You are saying this in 15 seconds.
Yeah. So to me, what I would say is that let us support this thing about using the waste to benefit the society, inspiring the younger generations more as we are also engaged. Because at the end of the day, the wastes are not going to stop. Are we going to have maybe plastic bottles, maybe the production of it, coming to a halt and all that? It's not going to stop. But how they are going to use it? So we have to promote this thing on all platforms, getting the children involved. Even if they don't know arts, at least they know, they can use this thing to create something. We inspire them to be practical. The thing is the practical knowledge, the younger generation, because when you look at the West, or the white countries, what they have there, they are very practical. Their system is well built.
And I think that is why people like you are here and you're bringing it to our local places, and other young people can also get access to it. Thank you very much, Ijoli Bonue, who is an artist using music, poetry, and then visuals as well to promote environmental integrity, promote the environment, and cleaning the environment. And Beatrice is also one of the young people who was part of an initiative, the Trash to Treasure initiative, and has made something beautiful out of the trash that they found around them, and from plastics to be specific. Thank you very much for doing the viewing. And my name is Mavis Nakolia. This was brought to you by the Development and Social Services Department in collaboration with PCG TV, and we are sponsored by Salem Water and the Salem range of products. Thank you very much, and catch you in the next edition of Entrepreneurship Clinic.